Hey Sachidanand, prime time. We want to analyze what our body self has done all day long, starting from the time we wake up till we go to bed. So this observation we are doing now for more than a week. So it was observed and concluded that wherever we get involved, wherever there is some focus is needed, those particular kind of activities, we are not able to see ourselves. But it will be, we have to find our preoccupations which doesn't allow us or that forbids us to see ourselves. So can you throw some light on that, Shaileshanandji?
Yeah. So in the morning, we decide that, okay, I will remain as Shuddhatma or pure soul self, and I will remain as a knower and seer of file one. But as the day goes on, I know that so many times it is missed out or I just get lost. Why? And what makes me lose that, my upyog jagrati? And I know that mainly I get entangled into my antaskaran, what's going on in my mind, what's chit, and I go with that, and for a few minutes, for longer time, sometimes for hours together, and oh, I have missed my Shuddha Upyog, come back, I'm Shuddhatma, I'm the knower and seer. So the Upyog is the function of Shuddha Chitta. And I have both Shuddha Chitta, which has been initially given by the grace of Dada Bhagwan, and now as I apply my 5 precepts and do the Purusha, the Chit remains more and more Shuddha. But at the same time, file 1 has the Charitra Moha, Shuddha Chit, and so many things on at hand. And once it gets dragged there, the Shuddha Chit misses its Shuddha Upyog. So that's one part I've seen, that whenever I'm perplexed in my mind, my Chit, or go with the relative inner self, my Upyog goes off. Second thing, why and how I get perplexed into my relative inner self, or what makes me lose my Shuddha Upyog, is unresolved files. Unresolved files at the level of outside persons, situations, or my own file 1 mind or intellect, which I have not been able to give the reconciliating Gnan vision to that. So till that point, I'm puzzled into relative, or my Upyog remains puzzled. So I need to see that what file is to be dealt with in amicably, best with equanimity in the best possible way, be it outside or be it inside me. That's a part 2. Part 3 is where I'm missing is my own Charitra Moha. As I said, my Prakriti is dragging me to something, maybe mobile, maybe WhatsApp, maybe some other things, maybe some other areas. And that Dadaji used to say, Tamaro Upyog lopad chopad ma jato rahe che. Lopad chopad means unnecessarily, non-essential things, which really is not the files or not the really demanding ones. So still I lose my Shuddha Upyog into that, Chit into that, and that makes me lose my Shuddha Upyog onto that. And the fourth aspect, as I understand, Deepakanandji, my body self is behaving more as a reflection of my inner self or antaskaran. So when I'm trying to see with Shuddha Upyog, it is not only body self, but it's the drivers are antaskaran, the drivers are within. So it's also seen that what is going on within that which is making me lose my Shuddha Upyog or effects or some other things. So I think that's an ongoing experiment, and that's how and the fifth and final and last thing, I just go back and see where I have lost my Shuddha Upyog during the day. Whenever I get time in the afternoon, and especially in the evening before retiring to bed, if I tell my file that, okay, sit for a few minutes and see what has happened during the day, where we have lost our Shuddha Upyog, and then that makes me more, it benefits me more that next time I will not lose that Shuddha Upyog. And while seeing or going through that or looking back, the avarans or the mistakes which were there gets cleaned off. So next time that avarans or mistakes do not bother me. So in a recent Akram, there is one sentence of Dada Bhagwan that whatever is not allowing you to remain in Shuddha Upyog is all kachro, means impurities of pile 1. And more it is cleansed up, you will be able to remain more and more in Shuddha Upyog. Hope that's all, Deepakanji.
Very good. Yeah. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Hey, Deepakanji, I want to share something.
Yeah, please.
Okay, you know what I'm finding last 3-4 days, that you are seeing, I mean, I'm seeing Rajneesh, right? When there's not something lined up for the next event that I'm doing. Suppose, like I'm doing satsang, if I'm eating and there's no other immediate things to cater to, then I eat my food properly with cheat and all that. But if there is something that I need to be doing immediately after lunch, then that focus doesn't remain that active, because your body is almost getting ready for the next one. So you suppose that's, I mean, now checking that if there's no program, it's very good, perfect. But if there's something lined up, then it becomes you get lost in, and you hurry up a lot. Like then eating, then if there's a program, then we try to hurry up. But there's nothing, then we eat leisure. That's what I've been finding.
Right. Jai Sachidanand. What I understand in this, we must focus on what task we have at hand.
Mm.
And yes, such interruptions can come and may disturb us in the present task being performed. So what we must say that, okay, your time starts at 4. Let me focus on this task at 1, and let me enjoy my food. So such interaction, I believe Dr. Shaileshanandji will throw more light on this, that this really help us focus on the task at hand and not worry or have any kind of anxiety or distraction looking at the task which is going to come in the future or the next task. Jai Sachidanand.
Yes, it's very correct and perfect. Dada Bhagwan put it in one simple sentence, Praptane Bhogva, Praptani Chintana Karso. He went ahead and said that right now there is a lunch dish in front of you on a dining table. You don't go to office or factory, which you are going to go after half an hour. Right now, the dish is Prapta. Finish means to be there. Then you tell your file 1 to go to the next task. Absolutely. So that's what is remaining in present, or trying to tell file 1 also. And second thing is the upyog gothavni. Even if the mind is showing us different tasks, that half an hour after that, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. But if I am Shuddhatma, I mean my stable in my Shuddha Upyog, then I can see mind also, and I can see the relative self hurrying or not hurrying also. And that makes the things in very smooth, or put it in the proper perspective. So both the things, that telling file 1, ke bhai dhime thi utawad karo, or right now you dispose the thing which is in front of you and go to the next thing whenever it unfolds or Vyavasthit brings it in front of you. And second thing, trying to remain in our own pure self Shuddhatma and dealing with the file 1 with Shuddha Upyog. That's what Deepakanandji is trying to say, that keep talking to your file 1. So file 1 will not only listen to our inner talking or Prajna Shakti talking, but will also get good light out of that. Because file 1 is a mechanical thing. So Prajna needs to guide file 1, needs to give light to file 1, and that's will really help it in both relative as well as real. Right?
Very good.
Yeah,
Okay,
just one more point I just want to highlight over here, which we had heard from Dada Bhagwan, that while in the process of making what do you call that, Tirthankara has left their home and they haven't reached absolute knowledge. in that process or during that time, it is said that they view their path only 6 to 10 feet only, nothing beyond that. So how do you correlate with this understanding?
So Tirthankaras, as Dada said, Mahavir only Shuddha, as his own pure self, Shuddhatma only looked at Vardhaman's Pudgal. What is happening to it? What is happening? So he just was focused on Vardhaman's Pudgal, and Vardhaman's Pudgal was only looking around what is happening, not far, not near, what to do, not what to, whatever was coming to him, he was just passing through that. Vardhaman and he as a Shuddhatma. So you are right that their chitta most of the times remain within as a Kayot Sarga. Kayot Sarga means what Dadaji has given us as I'm free from mind, speech and body. Chit not getting entangled into the relative self, but withdrawing and keeping into real self and remaining as a knower and seer of the relative self is Kayot Sarga. And the relative self, you are right that their vision was only remaining in that limited area. So they were in a kramic mark. By this, they were trying to remain focused in Kayot Sarga or by real. In Akram, we are blessed that even though our relative self has been kept free, we can remain with this focused Shuddhatma Upyoga. We can remain in Kayat Sarg all the time as much as we decide and we want. We exercise our alertness for that. So that's a wonderful aspect of Akram Vignan, that it can keep us in pure self, in Kayat Sarga state, even though our relative self is a little bit free. But at the same time, we have to understand that as long as my five senses are wandering or going out, my Shuddha Upyog will be a little bit affected. So allow it to remain in a circle as much as it is required for the disposal of files.
Perfect. And one more thing, the present equivalent wisdom, what is said, let us cross the bridge when we arrive at.
Sorry, I could not understand.
Cross the bridge when you come to this.
Yeah, when you reach there, when you arrive there, yeah. Don't cross in imagination from the miles away. Yeah, you are right. Yeah.
Okay. Jai Satchidanand.
Shaileshanandji, you want to share something?
Jai Satchidanand, of course, Deepakanandji and Shaileshanandji, both of them, they answered many of the questions I had. But my thing was, you just mentioned that how much ever it's possible, you have to stay with the Shuddha Upyog so that everything else is a waste. That's what Dada said. And so, but if you're focusing on the task at hand, 97% of my time is going dealing with other files. So I'm trying to understand how you still maintain, try to stay within the, keep the Shuddhatma, keep the awareness, and still you don't feel that you're wasting your time. And still you're disposing of the files. I don't know if I've asked the question correctly.
No, that's correct. So Shailya Ben, Shailesh is disposing the files as it unfolds from morning to evening. Maybe sold, maybe others, maybe patients, maybe consumers, whatever it is. And I, as Shuddhatma, I'm seeing how the Shailesh is disposing files. So Prajna Shakti is in between a great help or a great awareness and alertness. And he says that Shailesh, this file has come, you please dispose him or her or whatever amicably with equanimity. I always am aware as a Shuddhatma, and no sooner the file comes, I try to see relative and real in that file also. So first two Agnyas who send the file, Vyavasthit Shakti has sent the file, and Prajna just tells the file one to dispose, then whatever happens is Vyavasthit. So all the five Agnyas are being used at each particular event or instance or occasion if I really am aware of it. So this will keep both the things going hand in hand, as you are saying that when file one is disposing the other files, I can very much remain in my Shuddhatma, even even a one sentence or one agnya remembered and reminded at that time will bring in all 5 agnyas together.
Oh.
Sooner I say, Pragna says to file 1 that please dispose this file amicably with equanimity, I automatically become Shuddhatma. Dada Bhagwan automatically comes with me. So that Gnan light will come from all corners in that particular event. And no sooner I see relative and real in others, I also become Shuddhatma. So
Okay,
this
I
is
think
how both the things go hand in hand. And it's very, Akram Vignan is that way very wonderful that both relative and real go hand in hand
Yes.
always. Only thing
Yes.
is I have to exercise a little bit awareness through
Yes.
prajna that this is what. Otherwise, I become Prakruti, I become Shailesh, and the day goes on like I am Shailesh.
Exactly. Yes. I
So
think I
that,
got it. Yes.
yes, that awareness.
Awareness, and also like Deepakanandji mentioned, focus on the task in hand,
Yes,
and
that's
also
that.
process which when we come to it, that will take care of all the fears also, unnecessary fears that the mind is creating.
So,
Okay, thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Okay, Jai Sachidan, okay. Our time is